I'm sure you all saw the title, but you're gonna have to wait until the end of the video for that because I'd like to talk trading first. It's been a little while since I've uploaded on YouTube. I know I don't post as frequently as some of you would like, but you should all know this about me by now. I don't like forcing content. If I have nothing to talk about or if I don't feel like being on camera, then I'm not gonna do it. The month of May, trading-wise, has been wonderful so far. I know we're only halfway through the month, but I'd like to flip my camera around and show you all my journal. It showcases my entire portfolio, and I would like to talk about that a bit more, as well as compare it to last month too. So this is the calendar view on the Currency Pros journal. This is an automated journal that comes with Currency Pros membership. Now, as you can see, there's been a few losing days, but overall, this has been a phenomenal month. Currently, I'm sitting just under 50K profit for the month. And it's really interesting because if I click on the month of April, you'll see that that was a losing month, negative almost $12,000. And then I made up for that and much more in May so far. Hopefully I can keep up this momentum, but I'm actually gonna be pretty risk off at this point in time because I've surpassed what my goals were for this month. And I'm really happy with where the current results are. So there's no need for me to push the limits too much. Of course, if I see A+ setups, I'm going to take them. But as you can tell from the title of this video, I've got a lot going on this month. So I'm going to be pretty hands-off for the most part and letting my automated trading bots do the heavy lifting. And that way I can focus on what I'm supposed to be doing, which is, of course, moving. I bought a house pretty recently. It's actually been like 5 months now, just back and forth negotiating, and we had the maximum closing period of 3 months. And today is finally the day. I'm actually waiting right now to get a phone call from my lawyer telling me the code to the lockbox of this property. And then I can go pick up the keys and check it out. With all the crazy changes in the market, last month and even the month prior was definitely a bit tough, but I'm finally seeing light at the end of the tunnel with these amazing trading results in May and this pain in the ass real estate transaction finally closing up today. So I will bring you guys along with me. As soon as I get the keys, I'm gonna head over there and do a modest little tour. I'm not gonna give a full in-depth property tour because I like to keep most things in my life private, but I will give you all the gist of it, and I actually need some help, so stay tuned for that. What's up, buddy? Now, before we move on to that, I'd also like to show you some really exciting updates and changes within Currency Pros. As most of you know, I have a custom coded indicator for TradingView, as well as many other custom tools for trading. And man, we've had some cool updates recently. You're interrupting my video, man. What's up? This is the Currency Pros indicator for TradingView. So basically I utilize this indicator to fully automate the chart work process, so I don't have to draw anything myself manually. There's all kinds of built-in annotations, and there's also a built-in checklist and grading system. So this has been around for a long time. We've always had automatic break of structure, imbalance annotation, automatic Fibonacci retracement, all that good stuff. The structure portion of this indicator has been completely reworked. There has been many improvements to how that structure is calculated, so there's much more accuracy now. And on top of that, we've added this really cool volume profile feature. So it basically gauges the volume within the current Fibonacci range, as well as a specified distance of previous history to the left. It accumulates that all together and shows the point of control line. You'll see that little dashed line there that says POC. That's for point of control. And it's basically just an added confluence. We like to see that point of control line also align with our Fibonacci retracement and ideally an imbalance as well. Now, when all of these confluences come together, it makes for a really high probability trading setup, and that is reflected in the checklist up here as well. Now, this is just a random chart example. This is not an A+ setup. It's showing that many confluences are actually missing, such as higher time frame alignment, a liquidity sweep, and an imbalance. So this has a very low trade score of 25. Actually, the score would be a bit higher, but the imbalance is already filled. So prior to that, let me just use replay mode for a minute. Yeah, so if I use replay mode, those imbalances were not filled yet. So now if you go back to the checklist, it shows the imbalance is valid there. So it's a 50 trade score. But again, the daily time frame is at a premium, so looking for buys is not wise. And there is no real liquidity sweep prior to this range being formed. So that's definitely a missing confluence as well. Now again, this is just a random trade example. I'm not actually taking this trade. I just wanted to showcase some of the recent changes. Anyways, this is a really cool feature that we've added, the point of control, the volume profile, and the way we reworked the structure. It's just a dream come true. Honestly, I use this every day in my own trading and I'm in love with it. Now, I've had some questions and concerns about the volume profile in the sense that there is a difference between volume data on futures compared to CFD, and that is absolutely correct. The futures market has much more centralized data and it's very consistent. That's true volume. However, with CFD brokers, you're relying on the volume for that specific broker. So there's obviously a difference there. The data from the futures market is much more accurate, but that doesn't discredit the data from the CFD brokers. All this is an added confluence. It's not a strategy in and of itself. We just use it to combine with all of the other things that we're looking at to make for a better informed trading decision. I've actually been using volume profile in my trading for a very long time, and I've done enough backtesting and forward testing to know that it is valuable. Anyways, really cool feature. It's been a game changer for the community as a whole. Everybody's loving it so far. And me personally, like I said, I'm using it every day in my own trading and I'm absolutely loving it as well. Anyways, I will turn the camera back on when I get the call from my lawyer. I'm really looking forward to getting the keys to this house. It's been a long time coming. I'm really gonna miss this house that I'm in, but this is a very positive change. When I first moved into this house, I thought that I'd be here for many years. Turns out it was only 3 years, but things change, life changes, new ideas arise, circumstances change. The main reason for this move is that my father actually sold his house recently and his plan was to move a bit further away. So I suggested, why don't we pool some money together and get like a sick property? So we managed to find a place that had 3 separate units. So the main residence, a 2-bedroom basement apartment, and then a detached garage in the backyard with an additional 2-bedroom apartment above it. So plenty of space for the whole family. This is like a family compound kind of thing. So my father and I split the down payment. He doesn't work anymore, he's retired, so I'm just gonna be paying all the monthly expenses. And I think it's gonna be a big upgrade for everybody. I'm really excited to show you guys. I actually get 2 offices now that I don't know what to do with just yet. So I'm gonna need your help on that. Anyways, for now, I'm gonna play some guitar while I'm waiting to hear from my lawyer, which is hopefully very soon. Well, everyone, this is it. Home sweet home. I'm really excited to show you all around, so let's get to it. This is, of course, the living and kitchen area. Got a beautiful shiplap fireplace. And this is the kitchen that I am so excited to use. Thankfully, the house comes with these bar stools as well as these chairs for this little breakfast area. This would be the dining room. You can see the garage in the back there. There's an apartment above it. I guess I'll show you the backyard as well. So 2-bedroom unit above the garage. It's a 3-car garage. I think I'm going to remove the grass there and either pave it or do an extension of the hardscaping so I can use it for parking. There's of course a driveway out front too, but this would be more useful for us. Awesome deck too. Definitely going to be a sauna out there in the very near future. I mean, this is pretty cool. I've got a wine fridge. I don't even drink wine. What am I going to do with that? One of the main reasons I'm excited about this place is because there's an abundance of storage. We got this mudroom here just off the side of the house. And it leads into a pantry. There's honestly so much cabinetry in this house, I don't know what to put in it, but I'm excited to figure that out. It's a good problem to have, I guess. This connects around to the other side of the kitchen, of course. Anyways, let me show you the front office. So I mentioned before there are 2 offices in this house, and I'm honestly not sure what to do with them. So here's the main floor front office. It's pretty spacious. There's a lot that I could do with this room. The dilemma here is that I need a music studio as well as an office for trading and for creating content. I would prefer not to combine those together because it's often distracting. When I'm in my current office trading and making content, I have the wall of guitars behind me and I'm always tempted to just pick one of those up and play with them. So I would like to have dedicated spaces, but I don't know which office in this house is going to be best for each. So with that being said, let me take you upstairs and I'll show you the other office as well. So much natural light in this house. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So right at the top of the stairs, the first bedroom here is my second office basically. For some reason it has a crazy walk-in closet. I offered this room to my son, but he does not want it. This is the other office space that I was talking about. Again, pretty decent sized room. Nothing crazy, it's not huge. But I don't know guys, leave in the comments down below. What do you think? I don't know which room would be better for which purpose. I'm gonna have to take some measurements to figure it out, but I would also love for you guys to comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Which room should be my music studio and which room should be my trading and content studio? Leave a comment down below and let me know why. Now, I don't know how much more of this house I wanna show and would like to retain as much privacy as possible. But I wanted to show you guys the laundry room because I've never had a dedicated laundry room like this before. This is so cool. There's so much cabinetry. Like, what do I put in these cabinets? I have no idea. I don't own this many things. Like, I have laundry detergent and stain remover. What else do you put in these cabinets? I guess an ironing board in that one. Like, I have no idea. Pretty cool setup though. Love to have a sink here as well. That's awesome. Bedroom in the back, bedroom here. Yeah, pretty cool space. I'm excited to start moving in. I have a lot of work ahead of me, that's for sure. Honestly though, change is good. I kind of look forward to it. After a few years, you kind of get bored of the same thing, being in the same environment. It's good to switch things up every once in a while. Mind you, you don't need to buy a $2.8 million house to switch things up. You could just like travel or something, take a trip. But hey, this works too. So I briefly touched on this at the beginning of the video, but I wanted to further elaborate. So the reason for this move, as much as I love my current house, my father decided to sell his house and he was going to move further away. So I suggested we pool our money together and buy a property together that had multiple units. So we happened to find this house in our current area actually, and it has 3 separate legal units. That is very rare to find in this area. For those of you who don't know, I'm just outside of Toronto. The initial plan was to actually move further away and find like many acres of land, you know, have room to grow. But the thing is, my son still goes to school around here and he has a lot of friends and family, and I did not want to take him away from that. So I put my wants aside, but it all worked out for the best because we found this beautiful property and I think we're all going to be very happy here for a long time. Now, at the beginning of the video, I showed you all a glimpse of my monthly performance across my portfolio, and I wanted to provide a little more insight on that. So the month of May so far, I'm up about $50,000 in profit. Of course, last month I was down $11,000, so it made up for that and then some. But my point is there's a lot of ups and downs in trading. And because of that, I like to have multiple sources of income. Now, for some reason, there's this notion that in the trading space, traders should only be traders and they're not allowed to do anything else. It seems like the trading space is the most toxic space on the internet. I don't know how it got here, but it is what it is. Now, obviously there are some bad actors in the space, but it's really disappointing that even the good people get lumped into that group. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm fully transparent about these things. Like, I'm not only a trader, I also have many other things going on. Aside from trading income, I have an online business that earns me a steady income on a monthly basis. So that is a very nice supplement to my trading. And it actually removes the emotion from my trading, because when I have a bad month, like last month, for example, losing like $11,000 or $12,000, I still had steady income. And there's nothing wrong with that. That shouldn't be frowned upon, but I digress. You get compensated based on the value that you provide. And I would like to think that I'm providing a tremendous amount of value by sharing these custom coded trading tools with others. Myself and my developer, my partner at Currency Pros, we have worked our butts off to make what we offer the best that it can possibly be. And so I say this just for the sake of transparency. Like, I don't make all of my money trading. I'm up about 50K this month so far in trading profits. I should make about 30K on top of that from my online business. And then in addition to that, I have YouTube ad revenue. I have a few affiliate links. Between those, I usually get paid a few $1,000s a month. So all of that combined together is very comfortable. I think one of the reasons this stigma exists is because people have a false understanding of what trading actually is. I don't even think I could explain to you guys how much free time I actually have. I'm a full-time trader. I manage an online business. I create plenty of content on a weekly basis. I'm curating a personal brand. I make lots of time for my hobby, which is creating music. And on top of that, I manage a family life and still somehow manage to travel from time to time. But with all of those things combined, I'm still so bored the majority of the time. Like, I could be doing way more. And almost every day that goes by, I think I'm not doing enough. And I'm like constantly brainstorming new projects to take on and ways to improve the current things that I'm doing. But the bottom line here, guys, is that trading takes very, very little time. So why shouldn't I be doing something else on top of it? Why shouldn't I be diversifying my income by having multiple revenue sources? Especially at this point in my career where the majority of my trading is actually on autopilot because of the tools that we've created. So I have even more free time. But even for those who are just manually trading, typically that only takes like 30 to 40 minutes a day, maybe an hour at most. If you're on the charts for like multiple hours per day, you're doing something wrong. Less is more with trading. Now, I'm not just talking out of my ass here, guys. I've been doing this for 8 years, and that is far too long to just be LARPing. I can't imagine dedicating 8 years of my life and not actually doing the thing that I've learned to do. Like, this is a skill, and I get to keep this skill and hone in on it for the rest of my life. That's incredible. And with all the free time that I have, I can share that skill with others and benefit in so many ways and help other people benefit from it as well. So that's just a very long-winded way of saying, yes, you see me in this big expensive house, but there's more to it than meets the eye. I don't just have one stream of income. I have multiple streams of income because as an entrepreneur, there are a lot of ups and downs. I'll have a bad trading month. Sometimes I'll have a really bad month on YouTube or social media in general where the algorithm just completely hates me for some reason. Sometimes I'll have a very profitable month and there will be a huge dip in the online business in terms of monthly revenue, but all of them combined together kind of balance each other out. And that's what allows me to apply for a $2.8 million mortgage and get approved with the top lender in Canada. If your goal is to only be a trader, I question that. I'm not going to say it's wrong, but I definitely question that because successful trading after a certain point of time is very easy and takes very little time and effort. Once you have a system in place that is proven to work, then you shouldn't be glued to your charts. You shouldn't be micromanaging your trades. You shouldn't be spending hours a day trading. Everybody I know who is successful in trading, at this point in their lives, it's kind of like operating in the background while they're doing something else, venturing off into other businesses and endeavors. I really hope to be a voice in this space that can kind of break down these stigmas. So I'm going to continue working towards putting out content that is creating a more positive message so that hopefully we can shift the tide to more positivity and less pessimism and negativity. But part of that, guys, is transparency. That's why I'm having this talk with you. Some people are afraid to talk about how they make money outside of trading. I'm here to say there's nothing wrong with doing that. Online business and growing social profiles is a full-time job in and of itself, and it is definitely a skill to be acquired. If you're able to master that skill, then by all means capitalize on it. You'll never see me hating on people who are trying to make a better life for themselves. Hate never comes from above. The pessimism you see in some comment sections, the people who are constantly breaking down others and trying to find reasons to compensate for why they're not successful in their own lives, those people are a huge part of what's wrong with the trading industry. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick little home tour. Like I said, I'm not going to go too in-depth with it. I do value my privacy and especially my family's privacy. But I really look forward to creating content in this house and really calling it a home for the foreseeable future. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for future content. Talk to you soon.